Right, we're going to show you the basic introduction to Google SketchUp, very, very basic. So we're going to start by opening up the software, and it is going to ask us what template we'd like to work with. For the sake of this introduction, we're just going to use our simple template. We're going to work in meters. If you want to be a bit more precise, you can work in millimeters. We're going to work in meters here. So selecting my template and start using Google SketchUp. This is our workspace here, and it's just a representation of the world as we view it to help us understand 3D design nice and simply. Let's get rid of this just for 1 minute. I'm going to show you this would be our ground, this would be our sky space, and these three lines here, these are our axes, and these help as a reference point for when creating our designs to see exactly where we're up to. I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment, but if you see here, our green line goes from where we are off into the horizon away from us, and then the dotted line goes behind us. Our red axis runs to the right, dotted line over to our left, and this, if you're new to 3D design, you may not have come across one of these axes before. This runs from the point on the ground straight up above our heads up into the sky, or we go the opposite way down the dotted line, from underneath our feet down, burrowing deep, deep down into the underground. Okay, and then we have a lovely lady just to show you a rough idea of our scale. If you want to be a bit more precise, if you follow my mouse down here, you will see there's a little area for measurements. They're not filled in yet because we haven't started drawing anything yet. So let's start drawing. These tools up here, we have our select tool, we have our rubber tool, we have a pen tool, which does a nice straight line, we have a freehand tool, we have an arc, but we're going to start with these geometric shapes here. We've got a rectangle. I'm going to do this on the ground because I'm going to build from the ground up. So I'm going to draw a little rectangle. You notice as I pull over to, here we go, it's given us some dotted lines. That's just to indicate that your shape there is square. So I've drawn my shape. I would now like to make that 2D shape into a 3D shape. So if you remember from when you studied maths, or if you did a bit of 3D building within art at school, you will know that you can transform a 2D shape into a 3D object. Can anybody give me a suggestion as to what this shape could become if it was 3D? So hopefully you will have thought of cube, or some of you may have said cuboid. Okay, we're going to have a look now. Next to our shape drawer there, we have our push-pull tool. Okay, click this and you'll see it does exactly what it says on the tin. You can either push it down, down, down below your feet. You can pull up into the sky, and there you go. You have a big cuboid. You have a box. Could be anything. It could be a giant cereal box. It could be a house. It has the makings of anything. I'm going to draw a circle. I would like you just to have a quick look here. If you notice there's this green ring around it. Green, that's to indicate, if we get our push-pull tool here, that it will push and pull along our green axes. There. Again, if we draw on the side here, we're going to push or pull along our red axis here, and then go to the top. You'll notice it's blue, and that is going to run up or down this blue line here. Okay, so you notice before I had this tool selected, this is our orbit, and this allows you to orbit around your shape, up, down. There we go, we've gone underground. How exciting. There we go. We also have our zoom in and out tool, magnifying glass, and we have our pan tool here. I can move across here. Okay, so that's the basics of it. You can apply some colours onto here to give it a nice red. You can also apply some textures. give it some, I'm going to put some roofing on the roof. Oh, do select it first. On the roof. And I'd like you to show you some, some water. Do it again, select it. There we go. Clever thing about the water and your glasses is it does retain some of the qualities of that material. So if you notice, you can actually see through it with it being water. There we go. How lovely. Okay, we have all sorts. We have grass. We have bricks, all sorts. So what I'd like you to do is just go into SketchUp now. Just get yourself familiar with the workspace and draw some basic shapes, basic 2D shapes. If you can then use your push-pull tool to create some 3D versions of those shapes. Nice and simple, and then if you get a little bit of time after that, you can apply some textures to them and perhaps make yourself a little house or something. Okay, right, off you go, enjoy. This is our orbit, so I'm going to click that, and this allows you to move everything around in a nice orbit. So we can move around, but we can also go up and down and change our vantage point here. I'm going to go back to drawing another circle on the top here. In fact, I'm going to do two. Push up, and then, many of you have thought about this already, I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to push that one down. Make a little tube. So if you notice now, we've got a different shaped face. So when we go to pull this up, it just pulls that ring shape there.